Hello, 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 ASMR Nation. We are going to catch up on some celebrity gossip, some celebrity tea while I chew gum. We've got to talk about, the Blake Lively, Justin Baldoni stuff. We've got to talk about a Selena Gomez kidney conspiracy, some stuff, some conspiracies surrounding the fires. And before we do that, you know the drill. You know the deal. We gotta do some channel maintenance, some channel hygiene. So, if you're new here, welcome to my nonsense. If you're old here, welcome back, OGs. If you're new here, please consider hitting subscribe. And if you're old here, go double check. Make sure you're subscribed. Hit the like. If you like, leave a comment. It can be anything related to the video. It can just be a hello, a few emojis, whatever, as long as it's cool and respectful. Hit the notification bell. As always, I will link my tip jars down yonder in the description box. No pressure whatsoever, but every dollar or two helps. That is what allows me to continue to make content. Also, you are invited to my Patreon. I know not everybody can come, but you can't say you weren't invited. I post a lot over there. The link to my Patreon is down below. And I also opened YouTube memberships for those of you that don't want to leave the platform, but still want to support the channel. YouTube membership is open. You just have to click join, and I will post a few videos over on. It's available to the members. Exclusive content. It's not on the regular channel. It's not on Patreon. It's just for YouTube memberships. Okay, we're going to choose some of the gum that Austin sent, the Trident Minty Sweet Twist. Minty Sweet Twist. Twist. Let's start with this insane conspiracy theory. I just put conspiracy theory that I don't believe, but it's out there in circulations, and all it is a pretty out there conspiracy theory. You guys all know that Selena Gomez got a kidney from her friend something. I can't think of the name right now. And then they parted ways. It got weird. Maybe there's more to it. Maybe the friend was horrible, but I just cannot imagine anybody that gave me a kidney, okay, they can do whatever they want. I can never not sing their praises, So that was a little off, but nobody really knows the truth about why they got weird with each other. But recently, people have formulated this theory that several years ago there was a girl, Kanika Jenkins, in Chicago. And her and her friend, she told her mom she was going to a movie and hang out with some friends, but in reality, a lot of teenagers and young people do this. She went to a hotel party instead. And it was a very mysterious, she ended up dying that night. And it was very mysterious because she was at this party. And her friend said she had one drink, but the hotel footage shows her completely out of it, walking through the hotel. And some of the parts, I'm like, well, that could be drunk. She could just be really drunk. But there were other parts that I saw that I was like, that's not alcohol. She was walking in a way that I was like, that's not just alcohol. I would have put money on it that she was also given something. Either she took it on her own or she was given something along with the alcohol. But, I mean, who am I? Hold on to text. But, so, the camera shows her wandering, and eventually she wanders into a kitchen. Now, the way that she passed away was because she was locked into a huge freezer that was inside of that kitchen. But there's no footage of her actually going into the freezer. And then, did she really lock herself in? Can you lock yourself in? Why would you be able to lock yourself in? Why is that even an option? Nobody should be able to lock themselves in the freezer. You don't need privacy in there, right? There shouldn't be a lock on the inside. Now I get why there's a lock on the outside, because wanderers could come down or thieves or whatever. It's not safe to leave it open. Children. So I get why there's a lock on the outside, although there should be an she froze to death, like the elements in there. But her family still wants to know, how did she get in there? How did she lock herself in there? How come nobody found her sooner? Etc., etc. So the conspiracy is because this happened a few days before Selena Gomez got her kidney, that they used Kanika's kidney for Selena. Now, the other connection is that the restaurant in this hotel was for an upcoming Caddyshack restaurant that was owned by Bill Murray. And what the heck? Apparently Bill Murray is Selena Gomez's uncle. What? What's going on here? What? So, they're like, yeah, her uncle probably just, but this, it doesn't make any sense because it sounds, when you go really look into the Kanika thing, that there was a lot going on at this party, that she was out of her element, and it seemed like her friends were shady, and they weren't leading her down the hall. She was just walking around out of her mind by herself. So nobody could have predicted that she would have just like walked straight into the kitchen. Like, you can't program somebody to do that. Also, how would they even know that this girl would be a match for Selena? So I think it's like so far out there to assume that that's what happened. Do I think that they need to figure out what the F happened? Yes. I am angry that they haven't. They need to figure out for the, somebody needs to, either there was negligence involved or there was actual evil intent, something, and they need to figure that out. But will they ever? Who knows? So that is the insane conspiracy surrounding Selena Gomez and Kanika Jenkins. Now, next, we have the fire conspiracies. And I hated hearing these at first because I don't really believe some of them, but the first one is that these fires were started because they want to get rid of all the P. Diddy evidence that exists in those, in the computers of all his friends, and burning the whole town down makes sense. How, I guess the computers would burn, but I don't see how that's a viable solution to alleviate any of P. Diddy's allegations. They already have so much. Now, was it started to protect? It had nothing to do with, they already sacrificed him and they want to get rid of other stuff. I doubt it, but that's the conspiracy theory that's floating around. The other one that seems to have a little more truth to it, I don't know if you guys follow Noor Jasmine, but if you don't follow Noor Jasmine, she gives you a lot of information, and then you can deduce from the information what you want. But there are these really large pistachio farms out in California that kind of have no business being out in California because they require so much water, but they're owned by this elite couple, this scary, terrifyingly elite couple that owns, a bunch of other stuff too. And they use a ridiculous amount of water to grow these pistachio crops and these nut crops. And for some reason, they're allowed to have all this water while everybody else is being forced to conserve. She goes into more depth that I cannot even articulate, but I would advise you to go watch Noor Jasmine's video on this couple and how they might have something to do with there not being enough water to put out these fires. And is that on purpose? I don't know. And then we have Mel Gibson coming out and saying I don't know what because I just can't look at him. Do I like some of his work? Yes. But after his drunken rants and stuff, are we really going to believe anything he has to say? Then again, he is out there. And even a broken clock is right twice a day, right? So maybe there's some truth to what he's saying. He's not really saying specifics, but he's like, well, maybe they don't want anybody living out here. But in all actuality, you have to look at, it was very windy out there. So there was some fires. I mean, supposedly electrical fires, right? And those can spread, right? You can't just rake up the underbrush because all that underbrush is what keeps everything intact. So there's like roots holding everything together. If you get rid of all the underbrush, there's just going to be mudslides, and then that's going to be another problem. Maybe just as big as fires. So there's not any real good solutions for, should there be houses out there? I don't know. I don't know if it was ever meant to be, because the way that they're on the hills, if you remove the brush, then the houses will slide. But if you keep the brush, then that's a fire hazard. So I don't know. Will they be allowed to rebuild there? Oh, the other conspiracy theory that fits into this is the insurances were canceling these places' insurance right before the fires. Like, how would they? That's really convenient. That's really coincidental. That's really sus. So, and I understand why it would be, I'm not sticking up for insurance companies at all. But I understand why that's not a good business to insure houses that are on the hills like that. It would be like a profitable business model. But right before the fires. And now let's talk about the regular people that these fires are reaching. Not the millionaire, billionaire, like the regular people. If their houses aren't insured, they can't just start over. What are we gonna do? We already have the people from like the Carolinas and Tennessee displaced, and now we're gonna have the other coast displaced, and this is going to take forever to get it back to where it was. My heart goes out to both coasts. Like, this is insane, and I am absolutely sick that I see Americans posting jokes about the California fires. Shame on you. Shame. That is not American. That is not Christian. And stop it. There is so much to joke about. So much to joke about. That's not it. And that's not it. Okay. And then we have Blake Lively and Justin Baldoni's feud. They were in. Justin Baldoni was the producer for Colleen Hoover's book, It Ends With Us. I'm not a co-ho. Some of you might be co-hos. That's what you call yourself if you love Colleen Hoover books. I've never read a single one, but it is her first, I believe, book turned movie. Justin Baldoni was the producer, or whatever he was. And then they were both, Justin Baldoni and Blake Lively were in the movie together. And it was a movie about TV and a romance and all that. Well, this is like a nightmare for Hollywood. They didn't get along. And Blake said that he was, coming on to her and as H-ing her. And apparently Justin went and hired somebody to release a bunch of bad stuff about Blake. And by bad stuff, I mean interviews where she was see you next Tuesday. Justin, do you want to come into my trailer and practice lines while she was pumping? And I don't think she may have said like he was looking at her or something. And I'm like, well, I don't know how you, like, was he just, I don't know. But maybe that's not a good time to invite somebody in to practice lines then, too. Like, not that he should just be gawking, but, like, even if and I'm a woman, I would be like, there's noises, and you just be like, I don't know. But I can tell you this, from what I have seen of Blake, on all the stuff that came out after, they said, like, they opened the floodgates on her. She looks like a jerk. She looks like a grade A jerk. I don't know what to think about Justin yet. I think they're probably both very unlikable people that didn't mesh well. So we'll see. Oh, she also said that she had a text to him that said something about, I am Khaleesi, and I have dragons, like, for better or for worse, which is from Game of Thrones. And it kind of insinuated that if he doesn't go along with what she wants, then she'll set her dragons off on him. But then she said, like, maybe the dragons will fight for him. It was stupid. Like, okay. And then the reason that he's suing Blake and Ryan for $400 million is because I guess, Blake was just supposed to be an actress, but she came on and she wanted to be more like him, like a producer, whatever, and just change everything. And she would bring Ryan on set, and she even brought Taylor Swift on set. And they would be like, yeah, we should go with what Blake wants. Oh yeah, Blake's idea is better. Like, stuff like that, which is just too many cooks in the kitchen, and it's weird. And, like, can you not act? Because we hired you as to act this role, so can you do your job here and let me do mine? I understand speaking up about a couple things, but to just totally change the dynamic of the show, or of the movie, and the themes of it, like she was supposed to be a kind of struggling small business floral shop owner, and she wanted to be more like a Sex and the City floral shop owner. Like, that doesn't go along with the book, So I can see how that would be irritating, and how it would be hard to move past if she's just trying to make herself look, and that's not good acting. Because why can't you play a struggling business owner? You're not a good actress then, and you have one job. Yeah, we also have MGK and Megan Fox breakup, which I guess he's just like a chronic cheater, and she's pregnant, and she caught him again, and so now they are broke up. I don't really have much to say about it because I don't give a crap about those two. I think Megan's too old to be